What's going on, guys? King Raven here, coming at you with another video today. So today we've got 3 knives in from a company that I have not had on the channel before. So big shout out to the Lefty Pass Around group for letting me check out these 3 knives. It's not an unboxing. I've had them in. I'll give you my comparisons and my thoughts and recommendations. But before we get into today's video, y'all give me a like. Leave a comment. At the end of the video, there'll be a little subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And check out another video that I'll have linked. It really helps my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's flip this camera around and get into today's knife video of 3 awesome knives. Okay, guys. So we have 3 knives from Real Steel Knives. This is the first time I've been able to check out Real Steel, and I'm glad I got to do so. They are definitely on my radar now. So we're going to take a look at each one of these, and then we'll bring them all back together, do our comparisons and different stuff like that as well. This is not an unboxing. Big shout out to the Lefty Pass Around group for letting me check these out. I've already had time spent with them and got my impressions, so let's get into today's video. Let's start out with this one right here. What do we have on this one? This one we have the Pathfinder. Okay? So, the Pathfinder is this guy right here. And this is not a little guy. But one thing I found cool with the Real Steel Knives is Real Steel gives you this little spec sheet in the box. So I'm going to hold it there just for a second and y'all can pause and look. So what do we got here? We've got a big boy. The blade length is 3.74 inches. So 3 3/4 inches basically and everything. Overall length, we got 14C 28N, G10, 4.83 ounces, thumb studs, and it's crossbar lock, and it's got the designer right down there. Alright, so this is a knife that, with the name Pathfinder and everything, I'm thinking like bushcraft and stuff like that, and I think that's what they were actually shooting for, so I can understand it being a little larger of a knife. Okay, really cool, solid backspacer that's like a proud and crowned. So really nice. You can see the liners right there. The scales, they have this contouring to them. Really nice. I mean, overall fit and finish is nice. Now, the pocket clip, I like the way they did the pocket clip. It is reversible and everything. The screws come in from this side and everything, but the pocket clip goes in through a slot here. They've got a little filler tab so you don't just have an open hole in there, which is cool. So if you want to reverse it, once you take out the screws on this side, you can take out that little tab, flip everything around, and you'll have a lefty. With dual thumb studs and a crossbar lock, this knife is completely ambidextrous. So let's check out this 14C 28N blade. Oh. Okay, so it's not like, I want to say, a complete Scandi looking grind to me, but it's got kind of that tall, a mix between like a flat grind and a Scandi type grind to me. Alright, it's got a fuller, but you cannot access that fuller when the knife's closed. Nice black wash, thin blade, and ergonomically and everything, it is very good in hand because I have medium sized hands. Alright, so check out that. I mean, I have a XXL hands are not going to have a problem with this knife. There's not really a choke up spot, but you really don't need it because you've got so much handle real estate. It's got a nice swell in the center, so I get a very comfortable purchase on this knife. And I can even choke back if I needed to do a little bit of more push through like this, but I usually use it and everything in this grip or the pinch grip, because you've got jimping back here for your thumb, but you've also got another patch of jimping out here. So when you have it and you're doing that pinch grip to use that tip or that front belly, you've got a support place for your finger. Or if you're really needing to bear down, like if you're going to do some feather sticks and everything, you could choke up really high and get your thumb out there and really get good pressure on to bear into some wood to get like feather sticks and stuff like that. The action is good. I find it a little stiff. Now, I don't take it apart or anything like that since it's a pass-around knife, but I'm sure just some good KPL and a little bit of adjusting, stuff like that, might make it a little bit better, but it is a little bit stiff. That's why you slip off of it sometimes, because for such a big knife, you don't have really large thumb studs and everything. They are sort of almost like, instead of being all the same size and everything, they really taper from thicker down to thin, but it's a kind of unusual. The camera will pick it up. So, but they work. You just got to make sure you get right next to it, because they are close to the scales. So quality and fit and finish is good. It's just, this is not really my type of knife, being a double amputee and everything. I'm not doing a lot of bushcrafting and stuff like that. But if you like large knives, you're going to love this. And this could work for an EDC knife, no problem, if you like carrying a large knife. Couple of quick comparisons on this one. This reminds me a lot of my Vosteed Labrador. Okay, this is a liner lock door, though, but overall size, you're looking very large. Or my CJRB large pyrite. That sort of gives you an idea of the size of the Pathfinder. If you like the Labrador or the large pyrite, you're going to like this knife because it is right there at that size. Alright. So we'll bring it back out, the Pathfinder, in a minute. Let's move on to the next knife. Okay, so the next knife right here is this guy right here. Let's check out the bottom first where you see the number. This is the Serenity, and it's a slip joint, black G10. Okay, and like again, the Serenity, they give you the spec cards. So this is a 3.43 inch blade, so right under 3.5 inches. N690, it's 3.55 ounces slip joint, and the same designer that did the Pathfinder did the Serenity. Okay, so I don't have many slip joints in my collection. I'm currently working on that, so I was glad I got to check out this and the next one, because they're both slip joints. Fit and finish on this is really cool. This is where a lot of slip joints you'll see a flat back spring. This is a crowned back spring. It's got a little jimping right here at the top of the spring. G10 over the steel liners. You do have a reversible pocket clip. Now, me with slip joints, I like to carry slip joints in a slip. So I would take out the screw, remove this slot, put the screw back in, so you would just have it where it looked like a screw on both sides. and you could slide it into a slip, and that's the way I would carry this knife. But if you like to carry with a pocket clip, you can use it. If you don't have to. And because of the way they did it, you don't have like a open hole or anything like that that you've got to worry with. Nail nick opening, and if you didn't see that right there, this is not one of the like I would say American style slip joints with a half stop. This is more like a European style slip joints with a quarter stop. Alright, so it moves a quarter and then goes out. Pull strength for this and everything, I consider pretty stout. And everything, I would say about maybe an 8 or whatever out of 10 and everything. It was pretty decent and everything. For me, I do have to use the nail nicks. Nice drop point blade, and you've got this little spot that's got the jimping and the little harpoon, so you can rest your finger, but remember, it's a slip joint, so no lock. So if you put pressure that way, you can disengage it. Thankfully, you've got that quarter stop. So if you happen to push too hard and everything, it's going to stop before it really contacts your hand, instead of half stop where it would go further and actually meet your hand. You can use the jimping that's back here and everything and really bear down. So if I was doing some really bearing down and everything, I would be right up here. If I was doing a little bit of light stuff that I just wanted to control it and everything, I could use this little harpoon spot. Nice drop point blade, very versatile. You can use that tip without having to go too vertical. Good belly, great in hand. I love the ergonomics, and since it's a slip joint and a reversible pocket clip, or you can remove the pocket clip, it's completely ambidextrous. So, couple of quick comparisons on this one and everything like that. The only real slip joint that I have in my collection is this all Damascus slip joint from Off Grid Knives. And as you can see here, it is larger than the Damascus slip joint from Off Grid Knives. But this one and everything is more of like your, this is not even slip. I said this was a slip joint, and this is a back lock. It reminds me of a slip joint because it's a nail nick. But this is actually a back lock. This is a locking knife. I don't have any slip joints in my collection. That is something I've got to remedy, so it's a good thing that I got to check out these real steel knives. Let's check out the next one, and we'll bring the Serenity back. Now this guy right here is another slip joint. This is a really modern take on a slip joint, and we have a spec sheet right here. This is right over 3 inches in blade length, N690 as well, titanium handles, 3.41 ounces slip joint, but this is designed by Poltergeist Works. Very cool. Now, before we get to into looking at this knife, they include this card because this has the Real Steel ATS system, adjustable tension system. There is this screw right here, alright, that is used to hold it in too, and they've got a position where you do for disassembly. But on the ATS system developed by Real Steel Knives, this allows you to adjust the spring tension. The spring tension is defined in 3 levels, low, medium, and high. By turning the screw clockwise, the 0 level is used for disassemble. Alright, so if you turn this screw clockwise, you can actually adjust the strength of pull on this knife, which I think is really, really cool. So if you've got a little bit weaker hands, or you just like a lighter pull and everything, you can set it to the low setting. You want a little bit stronger, but not too strong, medium. You want a good strong pull, go up to high. And instead of just a nail nick, you've got this sort of like fuller going on. And because of the height of the blade and you've got this whole fuller, this is much easier for me to grab a hold of than a traditional nail nick. So that works great. This also has the quarter stop, and then you go all the way out. Nice back spacer, back spring, whatever you want to call it. And then it gets where it's got this little jimping and crownness back here that sits a little proud. So it actually, when you're holding it back here, it actually grips into your palm, especially when you're opening and closing it. Titanium handles. This is not a reversible pocket clip because it is set into this scale on this side. So I wish they could have done it because slip joints are inherent ambidextrous. So if you're going to do a pocket clip, do it on both sides, but also give a filler tab on each side. That way, if you want to carry this in a slip, you can take it out, take off the pocket clip, put the filler tab in, and just slide it in a slip. I think this would be awesome in a slip carry. If you want to carry it in a slip, you're either going to have to leave the pocket clip on, or you're going to have to just take it off and have that open spot right there. So that's a little miss for me, but the size of this I really like. This is the size blade on a slip joint that I really like. About a 3-inch blade. Good handle for my medium size. I still got room over, so large hands are not going to have a problem at all. Nice fill in hand. Nice clip point blade. Because it is a clip point and that tip goes up, you are going to have to go a little bit taller, more vertical to get to use that tip. Good belly, really nice in hand. And then with your adjustable spring tension and everything, it's really easy to use this knife. So I've really been enjoying and everything this. Did I even say the name of this? I completely got ahead of myself. This is the Venture slip joint. Sorry about that, guys, but and everything, really nice slip joint. So let's bring all these three out. We've got the Venture. We have the Serenity. And then we have the Pathfinder crossbar lock. Scoot these where I can do a couple of size comparisons. So this Gonzo Firebird is one of the closest things in my collection as far as crossbar lock to the Pathfinder. I have the large pyrite and the Labrador, which is a little bit better in size to the Pathfinder, but those are not crossbar, those are button or liner lock. And then let's just see the Demco 8020.5. And let's move that guy right there. And let's take a look at my Para 3. Alright, so that gives you an idea of sizes on all three of these. Let's flip this camera around and wrap up today's video of these three real steel knives. Okay guys, so what did you think about these three real steel knives? I'm very impressed with Real Steel's construction and fit and finish and everything. No problem with those and everything. Do you like the Pathfinder, the crossbar, the big crossbar lock? Do you like the Serenity, the more, I would say, semi-modern slip joint, or do you like the Venture, the Poltergeist Works design that's a very modern type slip joint? If you like the look of any of three of these, I can recommend them because the quality is there. Personal preference and everything, this one right here is more my size and everything. I like the size of this. I'm not huge on super modern slip joints, but I like the looks of this one. I just wish they had this where this was removable and it could be slip carried. All right. So, or at least give the clip and give a filler tab. And make it ambidextrous because slip joints are ambidextrous and everything. So I think they missed on that. But otherwise and everything, I think this is a really cool modern take on a traditional knife and everything. So way I like to carry it on a slip, I would probably go with the Serenity because you could, they did this right. You could remove this clip and slip carry this, and this would be a really good knife to slip carry. So between the slip joints and everything like that, I like the Venture. I would probably go with the Serenity because of the way I personally like to carry. The Pathfinder is very well built, very good quality knife. It's just too big for what I would do for my EDC being in which. But if you like to do some bushcrafting and you want a folding knife, that would be a great option. Let me know what y'all think. Please give me a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell. Check out this video. Think you might like it. Follow me over on Instagram at Shield Arms. Y'all be safe out there. I'm King Raven, and I'll catch ya in the next video.